Welcome to Talking Industrial Automation, a podcast where you get to know the people who make modern industrial automation possible. You will get to hear from CSIA system integrators and industry partners to get a better understanding of how they help their clients solve process challenges and how they've earned success in their careers. Along the way, we will touch on system integration best practices, technology, trends, and challenges. Whether you are a manufacturer, end user, supplier, or system integrator, you will enjoy the insights these industry professionals bring to this podcast. Let's get started. Hi, my name is Lisa Richter, the host of Talking Industrial Automation, a podcast where you get to know the people who make modern industrial automation and processing possible. In today's episode, we're talking industrial automation with Dave Musto, who is president, CEO, and co-founder of Thermo Systems, a global full-service control systems integration firm. David's early career assignments included systems engineering at GE and control systems sales at Honeywell. David went on to co-found Thermo Systems in 1998 with partner Gregory Smith. At Thermo Systems, David leads a team of 180 plus engineers and controls professionals based in more than 16 locations globally. In addition to leading the strategic planning of Thermo, David is an executive board member and second vice chair of the International District Energy Association. David, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me today, Lisa.
Let's start by talking a little bit more about your company. I mentioned in the intro that Thermo Systems is global, but can you expand on that? What international markets does Thermo operate in?
Talking about Thermo is my favorite thing to do. Domestically, here in the US, we started the company in New Jersey 23 years ago, and we've since expanded really coast to coast. There's 9 brick and mortar locations from New Jersey through Pittsburgh, Texas, Salt Lake City, all the way to the Bay Area, Pleasanton, California. 9 brick and mortar locations. There's an additional 11 field locations in the US where we've got team members stationed at client facilities. And then in Europe, headquarters there in Europe is in Denmark. We have a team based in Denmark, a large team there. And that team's supporting some work now in both Finland and the Netherlands. So it's pretty spread out.
I love that whole Norway, Denmark region of the world. I had one of my best vacations of my life up there. I saw the Northern Lights, and it's an amazing part of the world. So lucky you.
The team really values the opportunity. We've had a number of young team members that rotate through serving those customers, and it's been a great draw. Come do a rotation.
So do you specialize in any industry, product, or discipline? And why or why not?
We do have a pretty strong industry focus in 3 areas. We're not a broad do-it-all systems integrator. We focus primarily in 3 areas: mission critical, the data center market; district energy, which is boiler plants, chiller plants, cogeneration, microgrids in that campus level 5 to 50 megawatt power plant arena; and then life sciences, both life sciences manufacturing and critical HVAC for life sciences. So really having a focus in like those 3 industries and supporting those customers. We bring a lot of just domain expertise to the customer project. Our team focuses on understanding the customer's needs, the customer's industry, even more so than understanding controls and PLCs and instrumentation and computer systems.
Well, that range of disciplines too allows you to have some resiliency. I would imagine if one sector is kind of tanking a little bit, like oil and gas or whatever it happens to be in that flavor of the day, then you've still got the other ones that can help support the business.
Absolutely. And we try and keep a balance and continue to grow all 3 areas. And we do other work. We have a really big mining company in the West that we support, and great customer. We don't try and be all things to all people.
What suppliers do you work with, and are you certified or endorsed with any you'd like to mention?
Just like our focus in industries, we have a pretty strong focus in technology and technology partners. We're a longtime Rockwell solution partner. As you know, they recently rebranded the program, but we're very proud of our Rockwell partnership. We're one of the largest SPs globally. Across our whole team, majority of our 180 technologists are very deep with Rockwell. But in addition, we are very strong and have very strong partnerships with Cisco, Dell, other software manufacturers, Ignition, Wonderware, a little bit of GE. Those are our strengths. Those are the areas. We dabble in a few other things, but we really focus on those core strengths.
How has Thermo Systems grown or changed in the past year? I mean, it's just been a wild ride, right? And what do you expect for your company in the next 12 to 24 months?
It has been a wild ride, but we are so fortunate. Our message all through the pandemic, our whole team, was just to count our blessings. We've been so fortunate that over the last 12 months, we've seen substantial growth. The markets we serve, like we touched on earlier, data centers, life sciences, small power generation market. We were very fortunate that those markets remained strong and actually continued to grow through the pandemic. And Thermo continued to grow. We continued to add revenue, continued to add staff all through the pandemic. So that's the short past. We see the same moving forward. We'd like to see the growth. We've had some rapid growth. We'd like to see the growth level off to be slow and steady. But we're very bullish, very optimistic.
What would you say is the smartest decision your company has made recently?
I was just asked that question the other day, so that's an easy one. 2, this year, the very most recent, we just launched at Thermo our Thermo Women in Automation program. You can check it out on our website. I'm so proud of the group of women at Thermo that took the time to put this together and address this initiative. As you know, in the automation industry, it's predominantly male industry, and it's great to see the number of women growing in the industry that we're able to attract, and especially at Thermo. Long term, if you look at the last 12 months, there is something else. We made a decision during the pandemic, going back to April timeframe, when really nobody knew what was going on in the pandemic. Business leaders were really trying to navigate through this. We made the decision at that time to not cancel our intern program or cancel or delay any of our recent college grad hiring. We had 13 college grads and technician school grads set up to start a year ago. We had, I believe, 7 or 6 interns scheduled to start. We made the decision, we're not going to, even if it is all remote, we're bringing everybody in, especially at the intern level where what's the impact on the bottom line? And even if they don't have a great experience because they're working remote, at least we're giving these young people a start in their career. My son had his, he doesn't work at Thermo. He had his engineering internship canceled. So I knew the pain. So we made the decision to do the right thing. And we brought all of those young people in. In hindsight, not only was it just the right decision for those young people, here we are today, and we're continuing to add staff. Our business expanded. Where would we be without having these extra hands on board? Those interns, 3 of those interns converted to full-time hires this year. So I'm so glad that we brought them in. They got to know Thermo and they chose to join us this year. So it really paid off in having us be able to build our staff.
There's so much talk about the war on talent, and I can't open my LinkedIn profile or my LinkedIn feed without seeing 5 more job postings. So yeah, big pat on the back for you guys.
Do the right thing, and it pays off in the long run. It just goes to show.
What would you say is unique about how you approach a project?
I would say at Thermo, our focus is more on the customer and the client than the project itself. And I can explain a little that we look to be a customer partner and, partner for life, understand their needs. And the project is the project, and it needs to get done. It needs to get done right, on time, and on budget. We try to look past just the project to really serve the customer for the long term. So much of our business is generated from repeat business. We're not just focused on doing the project. We want to be there post-commissioning support. We have a very large national service and support network, provides lifecycle post-commissioning support for the long term. So we try to take a step back and take a bigger picture. The second thing our approach is the team we put together for the project. Because it doesn't matter the widget, right? We all deliver the same widgets. It's really about trying to put the right team on the project that has the industry expertise. If it's a data center project, these We try and put men and women on the project that have data center experience, or they have validated life sciences experience for our life sciences customers. And we try and put a really cohesive team on that can bring some energy to the project. That's our focus. And the engineering and the technology will come. And our head of engineering and some of our senior technologists may chuckle a little and be like, Dave, come on, man. It's all about a proper design and outstanding development. And they're right. I don't mean to minimize that at all. The focus in the beginning is on the higher level client. And then we dive into making sure that the technology is rock solid.
So you mentioned that a lot of your businesses repeat. Is that a metric that you track? Like, are you able to quantify that, or is that just kind of anecdotally?
Off the top of my head, I can't give you a percent of new bookings, but we actually do have that data. It's very high. It comes into two pieces: repeat business and referrals. We really have a broad geography so we can stay and service the customer for the long haul. We take an approach of being customer for life to service the customer for long haul. So there's a lot of add-on works. And then when that customer has another capital project 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road, we've been there all along. And so we're able to garner that repeat business. A large portion of it is referral based also. We'll do a project with a certain A&E firm, and they'll go on to another client and they'll recommend us. We have commissioning agents that just have such a positive experience during a stressful commissioning phase with our team. We've landed in some very large new customers based on referrals from commissioning agents. We do a lot of work with the large constructors, EPCs, and they'll carry us to a new end user. So there's repeat business with the same EPC that's carrying us to a new end user.
Are you interested in the latest products and services for system integration? Maybe you buy them. Maybe you sell them. Either way, CSIA has you covered. We're launching 2 new member benefits for system integrators and industry partners to really shine this year. The first is Innovation for Integration, a new semi-annual EPUB for CSIA members to share the industry's newest offerings at a glance. The second new member benefit will get CSIA members in front of the trade press. It's a quarterly news release letting editors know your unique value proposition or special sauce. Of course, these are in addition to the many other membership benefits you unlock when you join. Now is the perfect time to sign up because we've put together a special bundle of benefits for first-timers, including mid-year discounts. Learn more at www.controlsys.org/shine. What are you waiting for? Your future's so bright, you gotta wear shades. Yikes, who writes this copy anyway? So without naming any names, unless you want to, tell us about a project that was super challenging and what you did to solve the customer's problem.
I can give you a public university that I can name that I guess it was super challenging, life or death, but it's a great story of collaboration to meet the customer's needs. As I said, we do a lot of district energy work, power plants, energy plants for campuses, whether it's a manufacturing campus or university campus. University of Minnesota, again, repeat business. Through a referral, from an A&E partner, we were introduced to the University of Minnesota, did a very large project for them. They asked us to come back and do an even larger upgrade of all their boiler plant systems. As you imagine, it's pretty cold in Minnesota in the winter, and they've got some substantial boiler plant operations. The challenge in the project, they had multiple different technologies for boiler plants. And the way we solved the problem for them was they reached a point where there was a coal-fired boiler. We're doing all of the other boiler plants, control systems upgrades, and they decided they also wanted to do the coal-fired boilers, upgrading the old legacy DCS to a Rockwell PLC technology. We didn't have the coal-fired experience. Team had a choice. They could basically tell the owner, listen, we don't have expertise in that, and because we're not going to bite off something we can't do. You're going to do all of this, but you need to find somebody else to do that. We were there. We were mobilized. They wanted it to be one-stop shop and have us just GC the whole thing and take care of it for them. So what our team did was they leveraged the Rockwell partnership. We reached into our contacts at Rockwell and asked them to come in and support the coal-fired portion upgrade under the Thermo umbrella. We project managed it Our team was on site, led all the coordination, but the expertise to engineer, program, and commission the coal-fired piece, we brought in a partner under our umbrella to execute that piece. It was seamless to the university. They were very appreciative that we just found a way to get it done and get it done right, but still be able to be their single point of contact. It was a real win.
What kinds of trends and challenges are you seeing in industrial automation right now?
Automation is growing. Customers are continuing, as we all know, continuing to invest capital in automation in so many sectors, certainly all the sectors we play in, which is great. The trend, and you touched on it earlier, the trend and the driver now is building teams. The war on talent, recruiting, staffing, and training is really the differentiator. Thermo, we have a full-time in-house recruiting team that coordinates all of our college recruiting as well as hiring in all of the new geographies that we work in. I think the trend and the challenge is staffing.
So let's talk about how you're maybe solving that. You mentioned training. What does learning and development look like at Thermo?
It's really evolved over the last couple of years, and I credit our L&D team, our management team on the ground for what they've transformed at Thermo over the last 3 years with all the new people coming on. We have a program called Thermo U. It's all encompassing. That includes soft skills training as well as technology training. And there's really been a big emphasis on soft skills training in the last couple of years. The training is both virtual as well as in person, certainly much more virtual in the previous 12, 14 months. But I'm really excited. We actually just got back to some in-person events. I just was at one a week ago. There's both the soft skills and the technology training. We leverage LinkedIn Learning. We're very deep in the Rockwell e-learning series, a number of other e-learning applications that our team is engaged in. In the in-person training, we have both vendor supplied training where we're sending folks to both technology training. And we send folks to Rockwell, pre-pandemic, Rockwell class is one of our classes, other technology. We send the management team through a number of different management and people training programs. We have a pretty robust in-house, in-person training program, which is more at the supervisor and manager level. We have 2 supervisor training programs coming up this summer, which provide a variety of management and soft skills training. And those are on site. We host one in the East and then we host one in the West. And the cool thing is we measure it, which is something new in the last couple of years. I really credit our operations and our L&D leadership. We now measure it. Number of people engaged in training, hours of training executed, whether it's someone doing an 8-hour e-learning class, they log their time, whether it's someone going to a 2-day seminar, they log their time. I get a report every month on the metrics, and we share it with the whole leadership team. We have a training target, and we're measuring those targets. We have a training budget. The budget isn't to exceed it, making sure that we're spending it, because we've had years where it wasn't getting spent. It's come a long way. And as you can tell, we're really proud of, and I'm really proud of our team and what they've done the last, really 3 years revamping Thermo U.
I think I would imagine that with my marketing brain, I'm like, that's also a really great way to market the company, right? Like we are constantly making sure that our people are up to date on the latest skills and know all the whiz bang and can offer that to all your potential customers, right?
Customers, recruits. When I share what we're doing with our customers, I travel just about every week to visit with different team members and different customers. And when I share with them different programs we have in-house, you just see their eyes light up. And we do. There are a number of in-house training programs that we run. The customers are like, can I get my people into that? We're like, absolutely. Several program-specific programs. We train our team for certain clients' needs. We call them program-specific training programs, and we'll do like a 3-day offsite. New people go into that program. And now the customers are sending their people to those programs. It's pretty cool.
Putting my CSA hat on, talk to me about why you think a prospective customer should hire a CSIA member.
We're very proud to be part of CSIA, and we've gotten a lot out of it over the years. Why should a customer hire a CSIA member? I'll take it a step further, not just a CSIA member, but a CSIA certified member. We've gone through, I believe, at least 3 audits, and we're big proponents of the audit. It's made us better. Each year, we come out of it with new ideas of how to continue to get better, both internally and the way we serve our customers. An end user selecting a CSIA member, especially a CSIA certified member, it's someone who's passed the bar exam. It's someone who's received their accreditation, regardless of what their profession is. And we certainly champion that.
I think the auditing process keeps you honest too, right? Especially if you're growing, you can start to veer off or wander off the reservation there, and having that audit, going through the audit really makes you stay focused on keeping the core value proposition where it should be and stuff like that, I would imagine.
It absolutely does. And the audit, as may haven't gone through it, it's not just technology and technology practices. It's the entire business cycle. And it really helps you evaluate and up your game, across your whole business cycle. The certification program has been very good for us, and I highly recommend it, not only for my systems integrator counterparts, but certainly for customers looking for a partner. That's a great place to start.
So now we're going to completely switch topics, and I want to talk about parallel universes. If you could peek into a parallel universe where there's another David, what career would he be pursuing?
I can't think of any other job that I would have wanted to do. I love what I do. I'm just so fortunate I get to spend my time just with the Thermo team, visiting the Thermo customers. What else would I have wanted to do, or what else would I be doing in parallel? Would I do something like this that would be charity focused? That would be do the same job that I'm doing, but in an organization that had a more nonprofit charity community opportunity. That would be cool.
So another question kind of out of the blue here is, what's the best advice you could give your younger self just getting started?
I'm a huge Patrick Lencioni fan. The author talks about building culture. I discovered Lencioni mid-career. So what advice would I give a younger Dave Musto right out of school? That would be, even for a younger 20-something, that advice would be, focus on creating a positive vibe early on, no matter where you are in your career. As an individual contributor, focus on creating a positive vibe for everyone around you, and good things will happen.
Well, that's it for today's episode of Talking Industrial Automation. If you are interested in learning more about David Musto or Thermo Systems, you can find them on the Industrial Automation Exchange at www.csiaexchange.com. Thanks for listening, and thank you, David, for joining me today.
This has been great, Lisa. My pleasure. Thanks so much for having me on.
If you enjoy this podcast, please subscribe in iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also help others find us by leaving a 5-star review and sharing your favorite episodes with colleagues. Thanks for listening to the Talking Industrial Automation podcast. Thanks also to bensound.com and Wistia for the music bumpers. Until next time.